they're like a couple of kilometers away, and I'm like, ugh, Jesus, how? Or whatever. I don't even know if like Mideastern Europe's a thing. Like it's just a random like example. I'm not that worldly. Well, and back. Welcome back, Shadow Ninja. I've been just basking in Diablo's music. Listen to it. It's just magic. This game is just healing. It really is. It's gorgeous. How you doing, Shadow Ninja? What are you up to tonight? I could probably use one of these to identify something. Let's see. Hugs. Oh, thank you, Elise. Yeah, touchy pieces. See, I also say it really purposely too. So when I'm talking about like my ears, wings, and tails and shit like that, I go out of my way to make it sound uncomfortably sus, so people understand straight away that if I'm asking somebody not to touch my bits and pieces, it should be obvious how I feel about physical contact, kind of thing. Like if somebody's like just feels like they should be able to walk up to me and like pat those, because I also think about too, if I ever did happen to come across somebody IRL, my main thought is that I also think I'm going backwards too. My main thought is that if somebody is comfortable with like, say, giving head pats or like, I don't know, patting ears or something like that, like I feel like there are people out there that would just walk up and be like, immediately just give head pats to a person IRL. It's got to happen, kind of thing. And that's not something I think I'd be comfortable with in person. So I definitely have like, it seems weird because I am a character, right? But I also think of the real world ramifications of people not understanding, kind of thing. I don't know. Sometimes I think too much about this. That game sounds stalkery. It does sound stalkery. Let's say it's been had the flu. Had a flu exploding gallbladder happen in May. Jesus. What the fuck?
Yes.
I had to remember for a second what a gallbladder was, and I'm like, usually exploding is like, it's not quite abscess, but it's like getting there, isn't it? Kind of thing. That was good, and games have made me salty, so I got off. I'm trying not to rage, and it's just games, so nothing to rage at. Yeah. No, that's a good way to go about it, though, is like, if game's shit for the night, you know, remove yourself, sit back, chill. Take a few minutes to, like, just, you know, exist without it. Because honestly, some games, some people are crap out there. Treat others like crap. I'm trying to remember, I had a look at your profile this morning, I think. And was like Valorant and some of the things you play, or am I thinking of somebody else? Because I'm like, the first thing I thought of when it's like crap and ragey, I'm like, was Valorant. I'm like, that was exactly where my mind went to straight up. You know what I want to try is, let's try 4, 5, 6. Let's see if I can make 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me see if 6 will work. Oh yeah, this is full. Alright, well I've already got a couple in there, so I just want to see recipes wise, will this make a potion? No. What if I remove 2 of each? No. I wonder if there's like a set thing I've got to do with this. I think Diablo was a lot in like 3s. Nah. Okay, I just wanted to try that because I'm like, if it worked, I could get rejuvenation potions. That would be cool. But no rejuvenation potions for me. And some more water. Well. I said don't get old or diabetic. What's it? Well, diabetic is the short version. That's fair. Look, I wonder about how I'm going to go as I grow older. Because I have a lot of medical conditions already. Since like my mid-20s kind of thing. Because I have like a short laundry list of like various medical conditions, and I also had a lot of injuries and stuff because I used to do like you know, weightlifting, like bodybuilding stuff, and like, yeah, my body, I also used to do like a lot of like house renovations in like spare time and all kinds of things. Like I kind of just pushed myself physically too hard for a long time. But I also just generally like, what do you call it? Like a weak immune system as well and stuff. Like I'm immunocompromised because of one of my conditions and stuff. So like times like COVID and stuff were like terrifying for me because I'm like, dear God, like I could legitimately like die from this if somebody happens to just cough in my direction. Because I don't have, like, I could barely fight off a regular like cold or flu. I spend like a month and a half working on like fighting those off. What's this one? That's just a Halls of the Dead. Let's go in there. Your medical condition sounds worse than mine. Look, I honestly believe that there's not a lot of, there are, but I do think that diabetic is one of those ones that's like difficult and cruel for no reason in some cases. Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot of everything. That's a lot of everything. But yeah, there's having a lot of different medical conditions and having them affected by like weather and temperature and shit is definitely something I don't enjoy. Obviously, like, it's one thing to like have medical conditions, it's another to tolerate. Come back here, helper. I need my helper to come up here. There we go. Alright. Let's get the Valkyrie down there. Yeah, I don't know. It's sometimes, some days it's like whatever. Chronic health conditions can basically be summed up like this. Is every single day is challenging and kind of shit. But some days are a little bit worse than others. It's very, very rare that any day is actually better. And better is usually most people's normal. So when I say I'm having a really good day and I'm like doing good and all that sort of stuff, I'm actually having the equivalent of somebody's normal day. That's the best way I can kind of like explain it. Is if I'm having a bad day or I'm not doing too well, like medically and stuff like that, it's always really difficult because a lot of people don't have experience with like a lot of chronic health conditions and stuff, and how that can be an absolute drain on the system. Like I said earlier, like I haven't been too super active in Discord for like the last couple of months because after summer, after recovering from summer, coming into winter, and winter just generally being difficult, I just need the extra time spent recovering every day. I just need that extra time that I could be spending talking to everybody. I need it for sleep. And it's kind of difficult to explain that because sometimes, especially in winter, I sleep a lot, like a long hours. But if I don't, I literally almost can't function, like nearly like zombie kind of stuff. I need to use one of these. Maybe we use that. I didn't need to use that specifically, but it does allow me to move that and maybe take. Oh, it's a one line. Oh, I can work with this. Maybe. There we go. Nice. I could have kept the potion, it would have fit. What's it called? I pulled up. Okay, drugs. Nice. I thought you would have had to get it removed. But I guess, like, gallbladder's just like, I can't remember. Is it part of the liver?
How may I help you?
Is it the thing above the liver? That might be spleen, actually. Here's the other fun fact is I know a lot about like organ placement and like health and conditions and stuff related to it because of like all the series of tests and stuff that I normally have to undergo to maintain my health. I also am mostly being like managed by regular hospital appointments too, compared to last year, when last year I didn't have a specialist, because basically kind of what happened is when I got sick originally, when I got like really, really ill and I nearly died. And I got issued a specialist for my condition, and he died. And because I was a brand new patient, he never transferred, like the building never transferred me to another doctor. So I ended up just getting lost in the system for 10 years, and I couldn't get a new specialist. Like, I couldn't get referred to a new one or anything, and I didn't exist in that system because they hadn't finalized the documentation by that specialist. And it was a complicated round of bullshit is what it was. But basically, basically last year or the year before, it was like really early, like February or something like that, I started actually getting a specialist, like getting to like see a hospital and like get taken care of and stuff. And yeah, my health is like seriously improved since then, but the summer that we had earlier this year absolutely like wrecked a lot, unfortunately. But it's fine. I'm mostly doing fine. That's the best way to put it. Is I could definitely be doing a lot worse. So yeah. So D2 is finally ready to play. Now download Lords of Destruction. Yeah, you have to do that. It's there's a mandatory compulsory action right there. It just dropped by the medical system. Yeah, basically, essentially, because I had one appointment with him, and I had this is the blue one. We got the blue one. I had my life-saving surgery and shit performed by him, and then he was supposed to finalize the paperwork to get me into their system, and he died. He literally died at his desk. He just passed away one afternoon at work. That's literally just what happened to the bloke. And because he never like finished filling out the papers and stuff, they just packed up his office and all the files and everything in it, and just shit. I didn't want to remove her, but I had to. But yeah, it was kind of like mismanaged. Oh no, I didn't have a portal. Oh, that's a long way back out. Yeah, no, I just mismanagement realistically, and yeah, it was kind of a mix around because I had been referred to a specialist. There was some complications around. I had to be transferred from that specialist to another one because I was supposed to be in aftercare with the specialist, and he, like, all my files, all my records and shit with him were sealed. Yeah, it was not a good time, realistically. It just kind of sort of sucked all around. But nothing I could do about it. It was one of those things where I'm like, well, I guess I can't get medical treatment, so I'll just get on with my life. It's literally how I kind of treated it. And yeah, at the end of the fucking story is that I eventually saw another doctor who was like, who's your specialist? And I'm like, I don't have one. They're like, why? I explained it, and it had been long enough that even if there were like some kind of like things regarding staying with the specific doctor, it had been long enough that I could be kind of referred again to a new one.
Yes.
So that was nice. That was how I kind of like got out of the loophole. I'll put that on at the moment so we can go back in there. And that one. Just so we can run through the place. But yeah, shit sucks. I don't have any more room for that. I do want to keep my town portals in here. So I do have like my mace and whatnot. Do I have anything in this? No. Alright. I should have a empty enough inventory that even if I was to go and pick up all my stuff. Because the fun thing about this is, where did I go down? Oh. I went down near a portal, I think. Okay, whoop, wrong button. Let's see if I can go back out and around. It's interesting how there's no accountability for GPs if they're misdiagnosed. Yeah, there's that too. Before that, also welcome in, Johnny. Before that whole situation, ironic that you say that, because the specialist that I was sent to before the specialist that I had that died, he misdiagnosed me because of my age. I was like 24, and he's like, there's no way you can have this medical condition because you're too young. And I'm like, what? And literally people can have it from birth and shit. So out of interest, my medical condition is Crohn's disease, which is a gastrointestinal disease that it's like a what do you call it? Immunoresponse to basically my body attacks itself, and like certain foods and stress and stuff like that kind of like trigger it. I got my body. But it's like a permanent autoimmune. It's kind of like a permanent progressive thing. So if I have like a lot of like,
Good evening.
what do you call it, like a lot of stress, or if I constantly eat certain foods that like upset it and shit and like cause inflammation and whatnot, what basically happens is my body goes, all right, we don't need this big old section of like your intestines. Let's just let's throw that in the bin, and we'll see if you can survive that kind of thing. So that's sort of how it sort of works. I can also get like lots of ulcers anywhere from like my mouth all the way through to, you know, the what do you call it, digestive tract end kind of thing. So yeah, I can get like serious ulcers. I can have issues with eating. I have had it before where I've had like a lot of ulcers in my mouth where it's been really painful to eat for like a month. So I just didn't eat. I'm also one of those people that like, I don't really eat much to begin with, but I'm like, fuck it, if it's painful, I'll just go without. It's literally that. Oh, Kane. Yeah, Kane is awesome. Hold on, let's hear him again. I don't know if I can... I don't want to hear about the Herodic Cube, but how about we hear about the Herodic stuff? Because I am looking for that.
You have quite a treasure there in that Herodic Cube. According to Herodic lore, the cube can restore a Herodic staff. To do it, use the cube as you would a scroll. When the cube opens, place both pieces of the staff into it and use the cube's transmute power. You'll be pleased to know that the cube has other alchemical uses as well. 6 gems plus 1 sword transmute into a socketed longsword. You may also transmute 2 quivers of crossbow bolts into 1 quiver of arrows, while 2 quivers of arrows yield 1 quiver of bolts. I must leave it to you to discover other formulae.
He's just magic, that man. I've already listened to that. I listened to it like last month. But I'm like, it's Kane. We can make the exception. Alright, what's everything I need? I eat a lot. I think it's bad, or at least fast. As long as like you don't have any problems with like digesting it and metabolism and all that stuff, it's not really a problem. I just like, I don't know, when I used to be able to do like my bodybuilding and stuff like that, I had to eat a lot of food all fucking day. Like I had to have like 7 meals between like 2 hours apart, 2 or 3 hours apart. I fucking hated it. I hated eating so fucking much because I'm like, every time I ate, it wasn't like just a snack, it was a fucking meal. And I'm just like, good God, I can't. Like, it's so much food all the time. Like these days, pretty much since I had, well, basically, to be frank, basically since I nearly died, I kind of had to relearn how to eat and toilet and all sorts of things, right? So, oh, jeez. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Have a decoy. Have a fucking decoy, mate. There you go. No. Is it just getting despawned? Yeah, no it wasn't. Alright. Yeah, basically, so I get, I got to a point where, like, I couldn't eat. I couldn't eat and I couldn't drink water anymore. So I had to relearn how to, like, eat and drink and bathroom and all the basics, you know. So that I could kind of, like, regain health and shit. post surgery, and for me it was kind of like, I don't know, I just never really got all the way back up to eating. Every so often, like really rarely, every so often, I have like a day where I cannot stop eating. Like I am unbearably ravenously hungry, and I'll eat like 10 full meals in that day, and I'll still be starving. It happens like once or twice a year. It's really weird to explain because most people that know me know that I fuck bugger all eat. Like my general day-to-day at the moment is, you know, the 2 times spicy ramen noodles. You know, the fire noodle challenge noodles that most people are like, oh my god, it's terrible, it's so hot. Like those ones. I eat one of those and I eat like an apple. That's what I eat in a day. I'm just not hungry. Like I can try, but it would just make me feel sick if I force it. So I just don't force it. So yeah. Hold on. I missed the message. Apparently Kane was named after a kid who won a mailing contest for Diablo 1. That doesn't surprise me. That does sound like something they would do back then. I think it's pretty awesome. What's it? Do symptoms get better depending on what you eat? Sort of. So, also, welcome in, Nas. Sorry, I'm a little backlogged on messages. Just bear with me for a hot second. Yeah, I sort of do. Some foods make things worse. Like if I drink coffee, for instance, that can upset my stomach. Since I had my Crohn's first basically like flare up, I was unable to eat normal meat. By that I mean like your beef, your chicken, pork, lamb, stuff like that, which I could eat before, and I ate a lot of. I was primarily a mostly like meat eating diet kind of thing because I just liked meat. And then when my Crohn's happened, I couldn't. It made me really sick, really sick, like fucking so sick I would rather not eat. That's the level of sick. It was really painful too. So yeah, it was really confusing because I didn't know what I could and couldn't eat, and I had gluten sensitivity happen and lactose intolerance happened, and like these are all things that happened after my Crohn's kind of activated kind of thing, because Crohn's can lay dormant for years. It can go into like a, what's it, like recessive thing, where it's kind of like just barely there at all if it's like really well managed and healthy and stuff, or it can be like really dangerous. And I went all the way up into like a severe flare up for like 6 months and nearly died. So it's, yeah, remission. Thank you. I get my words like fucked up all the time, but you guys know what I mean. But yeah, that was one of those ones where if a specialist could have figured out what I had, we probably could have got me on medicine and a treatment plan and all sorts of stuff sooner. But because digestive stuff is kind of hard to diagnose and I did not have a good doctor, it just got a lot of fuck around, realistically. But yeah, there's basically like a list of things that I can't eat, which I kind of had to figure out over time. It took me a long time to like figure stuff out as well. Like I had to work out all this shit myself. Like I could suddenly not eat pretty much any meat. I could eat fish, duck, chicken, no, duck, turkey. I couldn't eat chicken, which made no fucking sense because they're all birds. And kangaroo, because I'm Australian, I can eat kangaroo. As it's a red meat, but I can't eat other red meats. So that didn't make sense. There's like a bunch of other stuff that caused me problems. So yeah, it got real complicated. So I spent a couple of years like learning what I could and couldn't eat, while also like relearning how to do all the good stuff, like, you know, be able to hold my like self to be able to go to the toilet and stuff where I needed to go and stuff. So that was an unfortunate side effect of the surgery that I had, that I had to kind of work past. It was a 30% chance of happening, and I took the risk to save my life, so I could deal with that, you know. Stress is a really big one for me. Stress affects my condition the most. So if I'm really, really stressed out, or like overworked or whatever, I will find that things that aren't usually bad, like foods and stuff like that, that aren't usually bad, are suddenly bad and are suddenly a problem. So I've got to be really careful with that, because I kind of work on the basis of not eating or drinking any of the shit, generally speaking, that could make me sick. But I also had to kind of work really hard for, like, for instance, the spice tolerance. As for the question about, like, the spicy foods as Crohn's, no. It took me about 6 years. It took me 2 years to relearn to, like, eat and toilet and all that stuff properly. Then it took me 2 more years to get into, like, a groove of what was good, healthy, and comfortable and practical and stuff, and also, like, preparing for, like, the bad days. And then it took me about 6 or so years to work up my spice tolerance again, because I love spicy food. I still can't eat meat, but I could not live without spice. And it does sometimes really upset my stomach. If I'm stressed, it fucks my stomach up real bad. And I pay for it. But I pick and choose my battles with that. Like, if I really, really want a really nice, hot, good Vindaloo curry, I will pay for it. Like, you know, physically pay for it. But I won't have that every day. Like, I'll get that once or twice a year. Realistically, like, once a year kind of thing, you know? Also, my stats are available again. My skills, hold up. I want... What's the welcome invite? I can give you some pats. I want maybe critical strike. I've been doing Valkyrie and decoy, and evade would be good, but I'd like to be able to do a bit more damage. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, what else is there? You just rolled low constitution and character creation. I basically did. So, okay, this is a really morbid joke, okay? But I even said this to my mother. And I said that, like, I'm the youngest child, right? Like, I've got one older brother. And I said, fuck, when my brother was born, he got all the good shit, and I got just whatever, like, shit was left behind. And my mum's face, like, when I told her that, like, the notion that she just had, like, absolute crap left behind in her, like, womb for, like, however many years it took to have me, it's just, like, I don't think I could ever get that face to happen ever again. But fuck, it was funny. It was worth it. But yeah, that was, like, absolutely just referring to it as, like, I got all the crap, basically. I got garbage genes from them. But yeah, I also... Oh, fuck. This is a bigger room than I thought it was. Let me go back outside for a second. Let me out! I also... While I do look very much like my family, like, I look like a female version of my brother, and he looks like a male version of me, and we look like a descendant of my dad. It's very, very obvious we're all related. I do not have any of the traits of my family. Genetically speaking, like, a lot of my family has got, like, skin cancer. We're predisposed to it, stuff like that. I don't have the same skin type as them. So what I didn't get, I got, like, some kind of other, like, shit roll instead. Like, I don't have to worry as much about the skin cancer side and other such health concerns, but the rest of it, oh, for sure. Fucking hell, mate. These guys are killing me. Is this guy, did he get resurrected? Never heard of Crohn's being this debilitating. Honestly, I didn't even know Crohn's was a thing until I had it. And like I said, like, the first specialist I had tried to tell me that I had irritable bowel syndrome instead of inflammatory bowel syndrome, which is what it's, like, categorized as, which is a different thing. But it could have been, if it wasn't Crohn's, it could have been colitis, which isn't as bad, treatable, but the treatment is literally removing part of your intestines. So I guess what I have isn't as bad. I do need to go back. Not that. I do need to go back to town. So it's not as bad. Like, I don't need any kind of, at this point, I don't need any major surgery to remove any kind of, like, parts of my intestines or any of that.